There's 3 lifestyle factors that are affecting your fertility. There's actually 4. The first one was just keeping your phone near your balls. But there's 3 which are actually quite big. We need to discuss these because I mentioned before the endocrine disruptors, and I have the full video on those on my channel, which is that increased testosterone naturally one. And those things are quite clickbait. Like they're really exciting. It's so exciting for me to tell you, yeah, plastics are lowering your testosterone. You know, everyone's talking about this stuff, and that's quite nice to hear. And so, you know, if you get the metal water bottle, you'll be safe. Like those things are awesome, but the truth is, switching from a plastic water bottle to a metal one isn't gonna do shit if you're fat or if you're underweight. Or if you smoke, if you vape, if you smoke weed. It's like, if you do those things, changing your water bottle, or you know, all these other like little micro things that you can start to implement, they're probably not gonna, like, you're not gonna feel any difference. So there's a few things we need to go over, and it actually does seem that the leading reason why sperm counts are so messed up these days is just obesity. It's just body fat percentage. Because of the amount of guys who are just fat. Just simply fat. Now we could go to a whole reason, you know, I'll summarize this because everyone else online is too scared to say why people are fat these days, and every little fitness YouTuber says, yep, it's calories in, it's calories out, and every guy who's trying to sell you a program says, yeah, it's because they're not following this diet. I'm gonna give you the one true reason why everyone's becoming so fat and unhealthy these days. It's just education. It's just knowledge. It's as simple as that. It's just knowledge. Because how many classes did you go through on diet or nutrition in high school? 0. You exercised for 1 hour a week or 45 minutes a week. That's what we had. 45 minutes of exercise a week. What did that teach us as children? For 1 hour of exercise per week is what, like, the school was getting us to do. The school sold unhealthy food. Literally all of it was unhealthy, apart from like the dead ass salads that they'd sell, which no one even wanted. Through our 18 years of being in the education system, there was 0 classes on nutrition. There is 1 class on nutrition that you can take online for free. It's a YouTube video. It's one that I recommend to a lot of people. If you've not watched it, it will take 1.5 hours to watch. I promise you, it is deeply, deeply, deeply interesting. It's enjoyable to watch, even though it seems like a little bit old or whatever. And it will I can remember the point of my life changing after I watched this one lecture on nutrition. The lecture you can go find online, I'll even link it below. It's titled Fat Chance Fructose 2.0. It's a lecture on nutrition, which is kind of like the education we never got. And once you're equipped with this education and you start to actually understand what food is actually doing to you, it's so easy to make the positive choices. I promise you right here, right now, I binge ate for most of my life. I was one of those people who had no willpower when it came to my diet. I watched this one lecture, and since then I have not binge ate even one time. It's like the education, the knowledge in my brain just suddenly made things make sense, and I realized why I had these intense cravings for sugar, and it was gone. It gave me an enemy to hate on, which was sugar and the companies that pump that shit full in our foods, and also the doctors who don't even advise like their patients, like my mother, on these things. I still remember this one day when my mom came home from like a GP appointment with like a sad look on her face, saying like, oh, the doctor's told me like I've got like too high cholesterol, so he's told me to go for like the low fat alternatives. And she had been to the shops as well, and she's got like low fat yogurt and stuff, and I'm literally like, I didn't even have to look, but I still looked. Bro, what the fuck do you think low fat means, by the way? If it's like, let's do a little Q&A. If something says low fat on the packaging, what does it mean? Because low fat, reducing the fat of a food, makes it taste disgusting. Naturally, because fat is actually, like, when you think about the primal days, fat was where we got a lot of our taste from. If you take the fat, like these modern companies, they take the fat away inside of these products. If you imagine like the low fat alternatives of crisp packets, of chocolate, of butter, of yogurt and milk and everything, right? They'll take the fat away and it tastes bad. And so what do they put instead? I'll give you one guess. What do they put? What do these companies put, which is cheap and addictive and tasty, inside of the food that they strip the fat away? They put in sugar. They put sugar in. Sugar is the cause of the massive rise of obesity, not this calories in, calories out, because that's just bullshit. That's so stupid to talk about. We need to be asking people why they're eating more calories. Just saying, yep, calories in, calories out. It's like you've tried to tell people to, like, you know, we as a species, as like a big movement of healthy people, have been trying to talk about calories in, calories out, eat less and move more for the last decades. That advice has been going around and it hasn't done anything. So the next time you see some dumbass fitness YouTuber, just remind yourself that he literally doesn't know shit. Even if he's got some professional, like, little backing qualification, he's done a personal training degree or some personal training course, like 6-week online course, and he thinks he's qualified, bro. And all these fucking dumbasses just talking about, yeah, calories in, calories out. It's not that simple. If it was, you tell someone eat less and they would, problem solved. We need to be asking a slightly, like, you know, like a double-digit brain IQ, like a double-digit brain cell question. Why are people eating too many calories? Why are people eating more calories now than they used to 100 years ago? What's causing people to feel these cravings? What's causing people to reduce their willpower? What's causing people to get even hungrier? What's causing the addiction of poor quality food, which lacks nutrition, that people are eating? Well, all of these things became problems. Maybe about 80 years ago, you started to see every, like, health problem just start to skyrocket. Sometime in, like, the 1940s, 50s, 60s, every health problem, cardiovascular disease and obesity and all these ones just start to skyrocket from that point. And what do you think became so prevalent inside of our societies, inside of the supermarkets? Well, what started to be pumped inside of everything, inside of ketchup, inside of, like, all the sauces you use, and every, like, meal that you get in a restaurant these days has got like 30 grams of sugar. You know, milk has more, like, about the same amount of sugar. Like, a glass of milk has about the same amount of sugar as Coca-Cola. And people think milk is healthy, and it's actually very estrogenic as well, by the way. Like, that's a separate topic. But actually, no, it's not even a separate topic, bro. Like, literally, there was one research study I read, right? Little boys who were given milk inside of primary school. I mentioned this in my last video, but I didn't know that, had heard of the study. Little boys who were given a glass of milk, they literally had their urine tested an hour later, and they had, like, the estrogenic substance inside of their urine, and they ended up having lower testosterone after that, just from milk. And so I started my previous video talking about this, where inside of our school, every single day we would have, like, a designated milk break. I don't know if this was just a UK thing, but we literally got sat down inside of primary school, and the teachers would bring in carton after carton of milk with nice little plastic straws. Every day, just fucking lowering your testosterone levels. Inside of school. With your obese teacher. It sounds like a dystopian reality when you think about that. You've got an obese teacher who's telling you that milk's going to give you healthy bones. The milk's got 25 grams of sugar in and it lowers your testosterone. And you've got a plastic straw to just add it all together. Oh, bro. So obesity, or just let's just say body fat percentage, is the first and major lifestyle issue. A lot of us young people don't need to worry about this. You're not totally fat, it's fine. Being too shredded can also mess up with your hormones as well. A lot of, like, fitness guys will say this, and bodybuilders will say this. If you really do shred down to the point that you have, like, a full-on 6-pack or 8-pack, you know, like, fitness Instagram ready, that's probably going to mess up your testosterone and probably sperm too, because you're just so deprived of nutrients. In fact, the best macronutrients for, like I was going to say hormone health, but honestly just health, it's fat. It is absolutely crucial that you have a high-fat diet. Absolutely crucial. I couldn't imagine eating in any other way. And I know that bodybuilders and guys who are really into the gym, as I have been, like to go on a high-carb diet instead and lower their fat to like 50 grams a day. That just blows my mind, because at that point you're sacrificing your health and your hormones and your brain's cognitive function just for hopefully another rep in the gym. It's sure, bro, go and make your gains 100%, but see what you can do when you're actually eating the diet that's optimum for your health, your mental cognition, and also still great for the gym. High-fat diet is perfect for that. You don't want to get too high of a body fat percentage, and you don't want to be too lean. So this is that like stereotypical advice. Maybe be 12 to 18% body fat. There's no point us really saying, oh, well, you can be 13.5, because none of us actually really know what our body fat percentage is. You might think you do because you just have this arrogance of thinking, yeah, but I know how to calculate it just by looking. No one really calculates it wrong. Calculates it right unless you've had like a DEXA scan recently. So the idea is like, just don't be fat, just don't be really shredded. Done. The second thing is smoking. 29% decrease in sperm count for those who smoked weed once a week. 29% decrease in your sperm if you smoke weed once a week. Weed also lowers testosterone because it increases prolactin. Huberman's podcast on cannabis, go and watch that if you're a weed smoker. You're literally like killing your testosterone by smoking that. It's just a fucking disgusting drug. I lost a fucking year and a half of my life. You might have heard my story in like previous videos. A year and a half of my life I was just smoking every day. It just used to make me so introspective, which a lot of people think is like cool. Oh yeah, just give me deep thoughts, bro. I just get so creative. It's just cringe because you're not doing any like hard work at that point. Yeah, sure, you're getting in these deep conversations, but you're not taking any action when you're smoking every day. So it's pointless. I still have journal after journal underneath my bed of the ones that I filled out whilst I used to smoke every day, thinking that I was being productive. Journal after journal after journal. I've got them stacked up underneath my bed. They're sad to go through. I literally, honestly, I cry every single time I read the journals that I wrote, the multiple journals that I wrote when I used to smoke every single day, because it's just embarrassing. Every day I'm talking about the pain of being broke, the pain of like cheating on my diet again yesterday with shit food, and I don't change anything. Day after day after day is these sad journal entries where I'm just not changing anything. It's like, oh, I smoked again last night and we ordered food and I didn't even have the willpower to do it. Okay, the goal is to like make $100 from my business this month. Didn't even do anything. The goal is to work on my drop shipping business for 4 hours this week. Didn't even do half an hour. Over a year and a half of journal entries like that. What a stupid, useless and just unproductive drug. Oh, but it helps me relax. You're a fucking Jeffrey, bro. Shut up. And then alcohol. Everyone's got their little drug of choice. Like, people say that. Some people say, oh, everyone's got their drug of choice. I don't need a fucking stimulant, or I don't need something to like change the way I feel, because I'm not some fucking cretin who needs to be like stimulated by something else. And yeah, sure, okay, sweet. There's a bit of sugar, there's caffeine, sweet. Okay, that's it. I mean, yeah, caffeine's a drug. I guess maybe caffeine might be mine. I have coffee, ooh. But fuck me, like alcohol, smoking, what's the other... Everyone's got some kind of vice these days, bro. It's just embarrassing. Alcohol. There's a paper of 1,200 young Danish men. A couple of beers a week showed a small but significant decrease in their sperm. And the more that someone drinks, the worse their sperm, testosterone, and just health in general is. That seems like common sense, right? But it made me... So 40 units is what they've said. 40 units of alcohol, which I believe would be around 10 to 15 beers in the entire week, which is, it's quite a lot. But I want you to think right now, like, how much are some young people having in a party? Because it might be more than that. I think America still has quite a big drinking culture, but it's more, from what I know about like American movies, or I don't know if this is how it is there, but I'm pretty sure like Americans and people around the world don't drink that much compared to the UK. From what we saw in movies here is like the Americans will have like a frat party or something, and a guy will come in like, oh yeah, let's get wild tonight, and he's got like a 6-pack, and there's like 10 guys there like, oh yeah, whoa, we're getting drunk, bro, like yeah, like they're sharing out beers. In the UK we don't do that, bro. In the UK we drink straight vodka before we get ready to go out and drink. What I'm about to tell you might seem like I'm exaggerating for people who aren't in the UK, but anyone in the UK can confirm what I'm saying is not even that crazy. Me and my friend, it was very, very often, I'm talking literally 2 to 3 times a week, me and him would go out. We lived together as well, right? It was standard. This wasn't like a special thing. Me and him are going to go out. This was actually kind of fun. And what we'd do is we'd just message each other, W ? And that would mean, do you want to hop on Fortnite, pre-drink, drop some kids, and then also go out and like get girls afterwards. And so he'd send me W ? I'd reply W, and out of nowhere he'd walk in, he's got like bags and stuff. Okay, sweet. There's a bottle of vodka, a 1 liter bottle. 1 liter we would finish that between us, about half a liter of vodka each, before we would go out and drink. Once we'd go out, we'd get, honestly, at least 5 drinks, but more like 10. And we did that at least twice a week for over 3 years, 4 years. So it might be not far from like 3/4 of a liter of vodka that I was having twice a week. Which someone nerd can say, oh, well, actually, you'd die if you had that much. Bro, if you think, oh, you'd die if you had that much, you've never met British university students, because that's actually absolutely normal. Not to mention the fact that we all really like the smell of our keys. We're well and truly disgusting, degenerate. Now that I've experienced it, if you're watching this and you've never really experienced that stuff, the party vibe and smoking and taking drugs, and you've been thinking, are you missing out at all? Having experienced a lot of it now, I'd certainly say you could go and experience go to a party, go maybe to a night out if you want to, but don't revolve your life around it. You see, for a lot of people, and myself included when I was in university, our lives revolved around just taking substances. Our relationship revolved around taking substances. And you think that these guys are awesome, they're my best friends and we're going to go out with my friends. And girls always say this, yeah, but I just want to go out and dance with my friends. It's like, they're not your friends. No one in that environment will believe me just yet, because they seem like friends. You're going out, this is if I had to describe it to you, right? When you go out with your drinking friends and your buddies, you're literally putting your arms around each other, you're laughing, you're bursting out laughing till you've got tears on your face, you've got inside jokes, you get there and you actually feel confident enough to dance in front of people. You're feeling good. There's another person there that you saw last week and they ask for a picture with you, you take a picture. There's a girl that you saw last time and you go and speak to her again, you're flirting a little bit. Then there's another girl there, then another girl there, and you go up to her and you end up dancing with her and she starts twerking on you and everyone's all your friends are watching, they're recording you and stuff, and it's really, really fun. And then you realize that all these people are brain dead, that all these people are actually stupid, low intelligence. You realize that these people don't actually care about you. They would not come to save you, to help you. It seems like they would when you've got these people around you and they're hugging you, saying, oh, I love you so much, oh yeah, New Year, boys, oh, let's smash, oh, all this shit. They're saying this, the girls are there, oh, I love you, girls, all this shit. It seems like you're all friends. I'm telling you, if there's anyone who's watching this thinking, oh, but we are friends, here's an experiment. Take the substance away. Take the substance away. So if you're watching this and you've been feeling like you're missing out, and you see pictures of people who have been going out to parties together and they look like they've got the social life that you've wanted, trust me when I say, my message to them is take the substance away and see what happens. Tell those people, if you think you're part of this big group and yeah, we all love each other, they're all my good friends, tell them you're not going out anymore and see how quickly you stop just seeing them in general. Tell them you're not going to drink anymore and see how fast they will pressure you to drink. Tell them you're not going to take drugs anymore and see how weird they'll look at you. See how quickly they'll start doing things by themselves, more drugs, more partying without you. It was never real friendship. It was addiction. Men like us who are on self-improvement, we don't fit in that environment because we're actually going somewhere. And this is coming from someone who was deeply in that environment, so I know what it's like. And the thing is, just in general, when you look around the world, let's say 99% of people aren't doing shit. Let's be honest, right? Now, what do you think that percentage is of the people who are there drunk in the club right now? 99.99. There's one guy who's actually onto something productive, he's actually gonna become successful in the party or the club, and it's you. You're the only one in there. You're the best of the fucking room. It's why would you want to be in the room where everyone else is just beneath you? And it's these degen environments as well, just dirty, sloppy, just unhygienic environments like, so I like First Man's vibe with this, where he said you get to a point where you're just too old for this shit, and it's just fucking cringe to imagine like the clubs that we went to, which have got sticky floors, it's like £1 drinks, it's questionable alcohol in there, there's like sloppy guys bumping into you, and then they're looking at you weird, and every like 3 months you have to fucking drop like someone, or you have to like push people away, and one of your friends gets into a fight. If you still want to drink and stuff, just go somewhere a little bit more sophisticated and maybe have a little bit less alcohol than getting full-on steamy, sloppy drunk. Because in this study, 40 units of alcohol had a 33% decrease in your sperm count. 40 units. So from what I know, 40 units is about what someone, maybe on average, on a night out in the UK would have. I'm talking 10, 15 drinks of like some kind of cider or beer, or like a whole bunch of vodka. 33% decrease in sperm count, and Huberman has said that whatever decreases your sperm probably will decrease your testosterone as well. And we know that it's alcohol, it decreases your alcohol makes 100% of your life, like all your health, just worse. And there's the dumbasses who say, oh, but red wine's actually healthy for you, bro. Just shut up. Fucking hell. People love to cope, don't they? It's the same with video games. Like, oh, but 1 hour at the end of the day to just rest, bro. Oh, but just one joint at the end of the day just because it helps me relax and be creative. Everyone loves to believe that their bad habit is actually productive. Everyone loves it. And guess what? You're the same. Because there's a bad habit that you love to do that you still cope and say that it's a good thing. What's mine? What is a bad habit that I cope and say like, oh, it's actually kind of good for me, you know? Probably like treats, man, honestly. Sugar every now and then. It's not often, it's not in my normal day, but it's like, okay, my girl will bake for me. She'll bake me cakes and croissants, and it tastes fucking delicious. And so usually I'm like, oh, but you know, it's just one treat at the end of the hard week. Like, it helps me relax, bro. Like, yeah, maybe that's my cope, bro. Everyone's got one, and maybe mine is just almond croissants.